Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Compact Communiqué. Yes, we are doing a virtual show this week. Sometimes the schedules don't line up, especially when one of us is stuck in Rapture and the other one is stuck in mechanical dinosaur land, which is Mikey's dream world, if I may say so. Right? I would imagine
It
this
is. It is.
that's what we're doing here for this virtual show. We gotta, when we can, we still gotta give you guys a quality show when we can. But nevertheless, we're gonna hit some sports, entertainment, and odd news in an hour-long podcast or so with the Crispy Compact Communique. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And let's get the ball rolling here. Mikey, my friend, how you doing? What's happening over there?
I'm doing good. I've been busy, but this weekend I had a chance to check out Inside Out 2, Pixar's latest film. I really liked it. It didn't review as well as the first one, but I feel like sequels are always a little tough.
Yeah.
But just like the first one, it was a fantastic little coming of age story. It really does go for the heartstrings a lot. The first one always chokes me up. The second one is no different. It's all about the main character getting older, experiencing new, more confusing emotions like envy, anxiety, boredom. So a lot of heavy hitting emotional moments there. But I loved it from start to finish. Still super creative, very funny, just so unique the way that they imagine the inner workings of the mind and the emotions and how they play against each other. So if you like Pixar, I think it's a must see. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, you're a big Pixar guy, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
All right, how about this? Give me your favorite Pixar movie and then your least favorite Pixar movie.
Ooh, least favorite is interesting but odd. It is The Good Dinosaur. That's my least favorite. Yeah,
Wow.
you've never even heard of that, have
No,
you?
I never even heard
Yeah,
of that one.
it is a movie that Pixar just crapped out. I feel like they didn't even think twice about it. That's got to be one of my least favorites. I say that having not seen Cars 3 because I feel like it's not worth my time. So one of those two as favorite. Most favorite, that's tough. I literally just looked at the whole catalog the other day and was trying to decide this. I think it's some kind of weird three-way tie between Inside Out, the first one, Toy Story 3, and probably Wally, for completely different reasons. But I think those are my three. Toy
Oh,
Story 3 because it's
wow.
personal, Inside Out because it's just super creative, and Wally because it's so unique. There's like no dialogue for the vast majority of the film, and it still makes you feel so much. So yeah, I think those are some kind of weird three-way tie.
Wow. All right. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. I would have.
You, what were you expecting?
I don't know. I was expecting the first Toy Story. I don't know.
I mean, that's
That's
definitely a classic. That's definitely a classic.
yeah. I would think that would be numero uno. But you know the animation more
I
than I do.
I threw a curveball.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not really into the animated movie sphere, and I mean, you've probably seen a few of them, but like not as many as I have.
Yeah, no, yeah, animation is tough for me to get hooked into. I don't know. It's really got to be something compelling. I don't know.
That's my dad. He doesn't get it. He's like, I want to see real people. I'm like, well, okay, but like the acting and the story is still good, even if
Yeah.
it's not real people.
Well, I mean, if the story's good, then it should transcend it. But yeah, for me, it's tough to want to go see it. So,
Yeah,
um, but nevertheless, hey, that's why there's 33 different ice cream flavors. You get to you get
that's
to experience anything that you want.
that's exactly right. So that's what I was doing. What have you been up to recently?
Usually we get together and record on Tuesdays, but this week, due to our schedules, we're virtual tonight. But because of that, I was able to partake in some Taco Tuesday
Oh,
today. Oh,
lovely.
it was so good. Yeah, there's literally a local taco truck near my house called Pablo's, and it's just whenever I get a chance to support them with my stomach, uh, definitely take advantage of that. So I had some tasty tacos, Taco Tuesday. Uh,
Nice.
you know, you got to have those every now and then.
Listen, taco truck tacos are some of the best you're going to get. Like, I firmly believe you're not going to walk into a restaurant and get a better taco than you can at a truck.
Yeah.
And nothing you can say can change my mind. It's
No.
just so good. What's your favorite type of taco? Like in terms of proteins and add-ons, there's so many different variations you can do.
I guess my favorite would be some sort of variation of a shrimp taco with like that spicy mayo sauce.
Really, I
That
was not expecting that.
that is a oh, whenever that's available on the menu, I do like to go to that one. But this one though, it's just a taco truck. So we want, you know, we want basics, in and out, hello, goodbye. So like this one
Yep.
has really good uh, chicken and pork. It's just boom, boom, boom. Get your
I
tacos. You're satisfied.
I was expecting you to go pork as your top option. I
I
was not expecting shrimp.
I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong; they're all great. You put it all in my mouth, I will eat it. Um, but yeah, I do really have a good inkling for a shrimp taco, which I had a lot of in Cabo.
That
That
was your
was
go-to?
oh, that was so good. I ate so
Oh
much shrimp.
man.
It's what you're supposed to do. You're in Cabo.
You can't go wrong. Shrimp is delicious as well. I feel like people oftentimes forget about shrimp as like a leading protein, but you can do so much with it.
That's right. Absolutely. But I do got to switch topics because there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that we want to hit. And the other thing I want to hit is that I got this nice little tumbler from Corey at Game Show Marathon, so I can enjoy water while you're talking. So I can support Game Show Marathon, which, by the way, donations are still available. If you want to donate to Child's Play, we're so close to hitting $11,000. We just need like $100. So we're looking just
Oh
for those
man.
last little scraps to get us over the marker. So if you can, go to gameshowmarathon.com and donate to Child's Play. We're practically there. I mean, it's just at this point, who's going to be the one to donate the donation that'll get us over the hump? But we're still putting out the call for donations. If you're late to the game, don't worry. Go to gameshowmarathon.com. Where's that? There it is, right there. Game Show Marathon, right
Sweet.
there, and I can enjoy water while you talk. So
Perfect. Yeah, get it done. Get those donations in. So proud and happy for you guys to crack. I mean, you're going to crack 11,000 again. That's absolutely insane. And for one of the best causes. So
yeah.
it's all good.
So there you go. Make sure you do that. Gameshowmarathon.com. All right, now we gotta get in the news. It's been actually a big week with sports. Although unfortunately not football yet, Mikey. We gotta go. We gotta cover other sports leagues because it was somewhat of a championship corner effect that happened this past week. And let's see the first one. Yeah, let's cover basketball. Let's knock that one out of the way because the Celtics just cruised in the playoffs to their 18th NBA title. It wasn't, there was no competition. The
Yeah.
Celtics were just so dominant. Nobody in the Eastern Conference was challenging them. We all knew that. The Celtics had the best record. There was simply just no one to stop them on their quest to the finals. And then when they got to the finals, the Dallas Mavericks, they really couldn't even contend. I mean, if it wasn't for the Celtics just giving up game four, that should have been a sweep.
Yeah, there was
Um,
that weird anomalous game, and for some reason, we were flipping through the channels randomly and decided to stumble upon that, and they were leading by like, I think it was like 40 some points at one point. It
they
was
they
clear that they were taking off, right?
they
They
wanted
were
to
taking off.
they wanted to win the championship back in Boston.
Yeah, they knew they could do it. They're like, whatever, we'll just throw one. So yeah, 4-1, might as well be 4-0. It was a gimme.
Yeah. So I mean, just it's also, I don't know if you feel, maybe you might feel this way, Mikey, but like there's almost kind of a curse to being the overall best team in the league because it's just kind of lackluster when they just dominate. It's like of course
Yeah.
they should have ran the table. Like it's almost like not fulfilling at the end.
It is a little anticlimactic. I always like to see those like middle tier teams like, try and pull off an amazing upset or something like that, whenever the best overall team wins, it's kind of like totally expected. So yeah, it kind of like sucks some of the drama out of it. Um, but I mean, I feel like basketball normally ends up that way, doesn't it?
For the most part. I mean, there have
It's kind
been
of a boring sport, right?
there have been some upsets where an eighth seed has knocked off a one seed. But for the
I
most
feel like that's
part,
few and far between. I feel like I've seen way more, like, I hate to always go back to football, but way more fifth and sixth seed teams do something crazy in football than, say, in basketball.
yeah. In basketball, it's just the superstars.
Yeah,
Which superstars are going to match up against each other, and which ones
right.
are the matchups that you want to see. That's what basketball really boils down to. There's only 5 players on the court,
Yeah,
so it comes down to which team has the superstars. And in
yeah.
this case, the Celtics did. Um, my only freaking moment is Al Horford. Al Horford gets a ring. That punk.
That
He
jerk.
he didn't play for us in Philly. I swear to God, he did
I saw,
nothing.
isn't Drew Holiday on that team too? Or
Um,
did I misread that somewhere?
not sure off the top of my head. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I have to look at the roster, but I know Al Horford gets a ring because of this victory. Just like that, when he was in Philly, I felt like he never gave 100%. I don't know. There was something about
It goes back to my thing that I said about the Sixers. They have a losing culture. Players who come here, they don't want to play. They're looking for a paycheck. It's just, it's our curse. It's our curse for trusting the process.
well, we're gonna see if the Sixers can do anything to alleviate the process because they got 2 pieces of a big three. They need to get a third piece this offseason if they want to cash in on Joel Embiid's career. Because right
We'll
now they're
see.
wasting it. They're wasting his
Yeah,
career.
they
If they
really are.
if they don't do anything this offseason, I would be very upset if I was Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that's the whole offseason to look forward to for the NBA. For right now, the Celtics, 18th title. They now push past ahead than the Lakers. So, sorry, Lakers. You'll,
Basketball's ridiculous. It's like two teams have won basically all of the titles.
yeah, yeah,
It's
pretty
absurd.
much.
I find it to be the most boring sport, you know. Honestly, baseball's fun to see in person, and there's sometimes upsets and crazy things that happen. Basketball, I just feel like you could just pencil in the top teams and be done with it.
Definitely in the NBA.
Yeah,
At least
not in college.
college
Yeah,
basketball. At least there's March Madness and upsets and things like that. But I could see that for basketball.
yeah.
All right. Again, we're going to delay football because there's other sports news. We had the U.S. Open, the third golf major of the year. And I hate to say it, but it's another one of these cases where even though we have a strong winner, somebody that it would be nice to highlight as the winner, he's not the story. Bryson DeChambeau did pull off the victory, his second U.S. Open victory this year. So congratulations to Mr. DeChambeau. Sorry to Brooks Koepka, his rival, pulled one out. So Brooks Koepka, I'm sure, is not happy to see his rival win a major. But unfortunately, the real story at this year's U.S. Open is not really the winner. It's the fact that Rory McIlroy was in pole position in the back nine of this tournament. It was his to lose. He was up by a couple of strokes, and then everything went wrong. He carded 3 bogeys on the last 4 holes, which
Oh,
if you're trying to clinch a major, that is not how you do it. And 2 of them were just simple 6-foot putts. You're
oh,
yeah,
that sounds that sounds like major nerves right there. Missing on 6 foot putts. I mean, I feel like that's something that like me or you could easily make, right?
I mean, look,
I mean, six
we
feet.
we say we can make it, but when you've got the
Well, yeah,
pressure of a U.S. Open championship on you, and Rory McIlroy hasn't won a major since 2014, he's going on 10 years without a major.
it's a
I'm
long
sure
time.
that's in his head, and
Yeah, but 6 feet at that level, that has to be a gimme. If it's not, that's why it's a story.
yeah. And you might be onto something here because Rory McIlroy was visibly just heartbroken. That's the best word to describe it.
Oh man.
I mean, you could just tell he knew he messed this one up. This one should have been his.
That's a shame.
And it's so bad that yesterday Rory McIlroy announced in a press conference that he is gonna, quote, step away from golf temporarily to process everything.
Ooh.
I don't know. That sounds,
Yeah,
yeah.
what's the translation there for golf fans? What's that mean?
I don't know. To me, that sounds that sounds very concerning. That sounds like it's in his head. That sounds like he needs
Are we
almost the
talking,
yips. That sounds
are
almost
we
like the yips.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. It happens to professional athletes all the time. Um, are we talking like retirement? Are we talking soft reboot?
So
Like
yeah,
what?
maybe more along the lines of a soft reboot because
So what, take the
he's
rest of the year off and skip the last, how many
well, he's
majors are left?
there's one more major left. The British Open is next month. I'm sure
Okay.
he's not going to miss that. I mean, he's from Ireland. He's not going to want to miss the Open
So
that's
so
in
he's
the UK.
so he's not going to take that much of a break.
No, but
Okay. So
it's still shocking that he's going to forego the next couple tournaments coming up. Because look, you still make money.
that's true.
As long as you make the cut at these weekly events, you still make money.
Okay.
So for him to just outright say, "I'm done. I need to take a breather," is very concerning.
So he's sacrificing a couple weeks of pay to, I guess, focus on recalibrating for his what, home country uh, major, right?
Well, closer to home.
Closer
Not
to home.
quite.
Sorry.
You
Wait,
know,
where is he from? I don't even know.
he's from Ireland.
Oh, okay, and this is in Britain. Okay,
Yeah.
so close
So
enough.
close. Yeah. Look, in terms of all of the majors, this is the closest one to where he's from.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if as someone who's married into an Irish family, I don't know if they want to
You
say the
no,
UK Open
yeah.
is the British Open is their home open. I don't know if they
You
want that.
you don't want to confuse the two. That's not good.
But
Yeah, but it sounds like he needs to recalibrate and just focus on that next one, and I guess taking a step away and taking a break. But it seems like you're anticipating this is not really, not even a short-term break. He's going to be back in a few weeks.
he'll be back for the Open.
Okay.
I would believe that. But
If he misses it, what does that say?
whew, if he's willing to miss a major championship when he could have contended, that's danger zone.
Do you
That's
think do you think that's on the table? Like, is there like percentage-wise, what do you think? Like 10, 20, 30,
no.
0? No?
If Rory is 100% healthy, there's no reason why he's not at the British Open. No
So
reason.
there's a damn close, like, to 0% chance
Oh yeah, I
that,
mean,
okay.
you gotta make it to the majors are the majors for that reason. This is the like
Right.
that stretch of schedule is what you build the whole golf year around. Is those four majors.
Okay.
So there would have to be something I think physically wrong with Rory McIlroy to miss out on the U.S. Or to miss out on the British Open.
Especially since he's been such a big name in golf for like 2 decades, basically. Like they were talking about him being, or was he the new face of like golf video games for a while?
Yeah, he replaced Tiger
So
Woods.
yeah, so it'd be really wild if he did miss it. So yeah, I'm just trying to stir up some drama. I love golf and drama. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, all right?
Well, if you guys want drama, I want a camera feed on Brooks Koepka when DeChambeau won the major. I'm sure he wasn't
Probably
pleased.
super pissed.
Yeah, because that is definitely something that they don't like each other. It's
Oh
again,
yeah.
we mentioned it last week on the regular podcast, but there are clips that you can see of Brooks Koepka, and he just can't hide it. He hates that dude.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it so much.
just at this rate, give in, make it a spectacle. They should.
Absolutely.
Um.
Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, speaking of random things like this, um, did you hear that Joey Chestnut is now going to have a challenge against I think his name's Kobayashi, who's another competitive eater, and like Netflix is just going to put this on. They're just going to be like, sure.
Why not?
If you're not
Go
going to
for it.
yeah, if you don't have a contract with Nathan's anymore, let's host you. Let's do this. Netflix should do
Yeah.
this. They should do this with DeChambeau and Kapka.
pay them both $1 million, say just golf against each other
and
1v1.
and show the
Why
drama,
not?
show off that you
Absolutely.
hate each other.
Yeah, I look, it's make it reality TV. Like Americans love reality TV. We just get crazy about it. So just do it. Just give in. Just
Yeah,
give into it.
yeah, right. So
I'd
look,
be there.
and
I'd watch it.
and this is the Wild West now, where apparently just these streaming services, they can just host sporting events now. So
Yeah,
just host it on Netflix, host it on Hulu, host it
go for it.
on uh, Peacock, host it on Paramount. One of them. Do it.
Yeah,
Max, even Max is doing sports. Do it. So
they absolutely should. There's no reason not to. It
that
would
would
I feel like it would get a lot of viewership.
that would be my suggestion. But oh, here we go. Well, you know what? If you want
Uh,
drama, there's only
oh,
one
there
more
is
place.
drama.
One more
Don't look
place you
any
need to turn
further.
to
Yeah, don't look any
Philadelphia.
further than Philadelphia, and the Philadelphia Eagles specifically, always stirring up something. And of course, it has none other than the quarterback position plastered all over this drama. Jalen Hurts apparently didn't give enough of a glowing review of head coach Nick Sirianni, and this has been brewing for some time. I've been ignoring it because I feel like it's just a WIP thing, but apparently it's got long enough legs that it's still kicking. Apparently, some people in the organization didn't like the non response from Jalen Hurts when he was asked about Nick Sirianni's willingness to adapt and evolve his gameplay calling and things like that, and didn't give him an overwhelmingly positive review. Rich, what do you make of this? Is this like now apparently people in the organization are upset? Is this real? Like, do we have to be worried about this?
I don't know. We might have to, because literally a tangent story that ties into this is what I heard from Howard Eskin on WIP literally this afternoon. Like literally it happened this afternoon. And I had to text you, Mike.
Yeah,
Like it was very startling. Howard Eskin, who's a longtime, Eagles commentator, follower, radio, everything. He's tight with the organization.
yeah.
He went on WIP and he says that according to his sources inside the Eagles organization, if they have an underperforming season in 2024, the team will place the blame on Jalen Hurts, not on Nick Sirianni.
That's
And
insane.
and I don't know if you like this verb, and that Hurts would be Carson Wentz out.
I did like that when I saw that. I was like, okay, we're making it a verb now. Yeah. This is when you sent that to me, I had to take a moment to process it. I'm like, this is absolutely insane. Um, I mean, we've kind of been joking about it the past however long, like, oh, Nick Sirianni is following the Doug Peterson playbook, kind of the trajectory that team took. Um, but it seems like there might be some kind of validity to this. You said the reasoning is, new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore
Well,
called the offense.
not just new one, but he's on that verge of like he's a hot candidate to almost head
Right,
coach territory. Teams are looking at him as a potential head coach.
right. Like he should completely revitalize the offense. And on top of that, all of those skill position players, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, the great offensive line, like it is just absolutely stacked. So I guess if you really want to come down to it, if there is a weak link, they would have to choose between Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts. And it's crazy to me though that the team is more committed to Sirianni than Hurts. Why do you think that is? Like you feel like it'd be the other way around, right? But
Yeah,
I
I
guess
would.
not.
Right, I would think it would be the other way around, but you know, I hate to say it because we love the Eagles and we love the Eagles organization, but you do know Jeffrey Lurie and you know Howie Roseman. There are people in that organization that they're tight with.
Yeah.
That if I my brother-in-law likes to say they're yes men, but to a degree, I mean, I don't think he's off
I
base,
I
but
remember at the time where Doug Peterson was on shaky ground, one of the reports that kept circulating was it's because he wouldn't acquiesce to the demands of the front office. And at the time, it's like, well, you don't really know. You can't say one way or the other. but it seems like Nick Sirianni is kind of bendable and
Yeah.
amenable in that way. And so Jeffrey Lurie, there's been reports that he puts his thumb on the scale more and more in terms of draft picks and Howie Roseman deciding who gets to play. And you see kind of this favoritism towards certain players like JJ Arcega-Whiteside for some godforsaken reason. Um, so you do have to wonder, like maybe there's more to those reports than we originally thought, you
Yeah.
know?
I think if something like this does happen, that's an obvious sign.
Yeah.
Because the only reason you keep a head coach over a star quarterback is that you like them or they fit in your system better.
Not just a star quarterback, but a star quarterback you're paying $250 million to.
True, but there are outs in that clause. I think there's an out in 2026, if I remember
Well,
correctly.
2026 is not 2024.
No, well,
So
but
they'd have
no,
to
no, no.
they'd have to
But this would have to be a bad year this upcoming year, and then you would eat 2025,
yeah.
which we've done it before.
We've done I look, the Eagles
The
kind of
Broncos are paying what 50 million in dead cap to
yeah.
Russell Wilson. This is no
The
longer dead man's land. Like
the the the, the
this is
Eagles
common now.
the Eagles started that trend with the Carson Wentz thing where they're like, you know what, we're just going to cut our losses. Everyone was like, oh my God, $30 million of dead cap. Now teams are like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
40 million, 50 million. What would Jalen Hurts' dead cap be?
I'm
It'd be
sure.
crazy.
I'm sure it would be along that spectrum. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not unheard of anymore.
It's just crazy to think that you give a guy a top five contract and you're willing to basically make him a scapegoat. Like that's an expensive scapegoat. You could have
Yep.
picked a cheaper one,
Yeah.
is all I'm saying. You
Yeah.
know?
But it's something that will be determined as we go forward. Although actually, to go back on your point, then you're in the Dallas Cowboys situation where you don't know if you should pay him, and now they don't know how they should pay Dak Prescott or if they should. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, another thing, Trevor Lawrence got a major payday this week.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Again, makes it much harder for Dallas, which I love. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't understand what they're doing. I really don't.
I really think they're banking on Dak Prescott to fail this year. Like
Wouldn't it be
they
wouldn't it be
want
wild if
they
Dallas ended up being more correct than the Eagles? Like if Jalen Hurts doesn't pan out, we have to scapegoat him, and Dallas is like, well, it's a good thing we didn't pay Dak. I'd be so pissed.
well they kind of I think this is all speculation, and I'm an Eagles fan too, so I want the Cowboys to fail. But I think that they want Dak Prescott to fail. Don't pay
Yeah.
him, and then
Oh yeah.
guess what? Everyone forgets they got Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That they don't have to go draft a quarterback. They can just run with Trey Lance.
I don't think Trey Lance is the answer, but he's definitely somebody who can, string them along for a year or two until they do find their guy or develop somebody. So it's not crazy to see that as a possible outcome. If, however, they do decide to sign Dak Prescott after this year, that's the dumbest strategery I've ever seen.
Yeah, then that didn't work.
Nothing makes sense there. But yeah, I'm more aligned with you that I think they're secretly hoping that he fails. But I don't understand why they're not making moves to sign CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons. Because like I can understand the Dak thing, but what about your other star players who are clearly really good? Like you can make arguments for Dak not being the guy, but the other guys, like they're top five, top three at their position. You gotta lock them down.
I don't know. Jerry Jones loves his glory hole. That's the only thing I know.
He's been busy this offseason, I guess.
Yeah. So there you go. That is our sports sampler for this week. We're gonna take a little bit of a break right now, and we're gonna come back with some entertainment news and some odd news as well when we return. This is the Crispy Compact Communiqué. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday! Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
All right, and we're back here on the Crispy Compact Communiqué. We are done all of the sports that we want to hit you with. So now let's get into the second part of the show. 2 and 2, Chuck Woolery. Entertainment entree. So, Mikey, we've got some news. Speaking of streaming, we inadvertently mentioned sports streaming on Netflix. Netflix wants to do some other ventures here, physical locations.
Yeah, so they're actually stepping kind of out of streaming to do some physical stuff. They are opening what's called Netflix House. We talked about this, I think it was sometime last year, that they wanted to get into the physical retail space. And so a little bit more concrete plans are beginning to develop here. It's called Netflix House, opening in 2 cities, Dallas and right in our backyard, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I don't know why
Why did they choose
or
those
how
two?
so I don't know have the specific spot in Dallas, but they mentioned that they wanted to be in 2 big shopping hubs in America, and King of Prussia is the 3rd largest mall in America. So I mean that's where you want to be, you know. I
New
find it odd
rule.
they didn't do Mall of America though.
New rule.
Yeah.
Take those video portal things that they did that was supposed to be from New York to Ireland or whatever. Put them at these locations. Dallas versus Eagles fans. There you go.
Oh,
You've got quality entertainment right there.
100%. You charge people $5 to go stand in front of the portal, and you will make millions of dollars every single Eagles Dallas game.
Yep.
Like people just be lining up around the block. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that they could do. They are billing it as an experiential entertainment venue. What that means is that they're going to have interactive experiences. They're going to have shopping. They're going to have dining. It's, I don't know, some kind of like weird mini resort where it's kind of like all these things wrapped into one. They have some examples of experiences you can do. You can waltz in a Bridgerton set to, I think they said like Taylor Swift music. So you can like waltz, like you're in a period piece. You can compete in the Glass Bridge Challenge from Squid Game, which again they continue to miss the point of that show, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Um,
weird.
they're just whiffing on that constantly. And then of course you can dine on Netflix themed meals and snacks, and of course wrap it all up with a exit through the gift shop where they'll have exclusive physical merch on all of their different brands and shows. Um, but Rich, I mean, what do you think? It's right here in KOP. Like, you got to check it out, right?
I mean, I guess we're gonna have to. Um, and
I,
you
I
know,
mean,
I'm
are
sure.
you gonna say no with it like 10 minutes away from you? You
Yeah,
gotta go.
and I'm sure the mall has empty real estate that they can
Oh yeah.
plug Netflix in, because all the malls around here are just getting more and more empty. So yeah, why not? Sure, plug them in there.
You know, while I think it's weird that Netflix is doing this, having no experience with like physical retail spaces, I don't think it's the craziest thing. So for example, like Legoland is a huge thing at the Plymouth Meeting Mall. It's like the only reason that mall is still in existence. But I could see something like a Stranger Things escape room. They have their like Bridgerton waltzing and the Squid Game stuff. Like I can see things that easily transition to kind of like fun interactive experiences. The thing that concerns me is like, is this going to be done with the care and diligence it requires, or is it going to be a cash grab? Like, is the Squid Game glass bridge game is going to be like, oh, like some, you've seen them in the mall before. There's cheap, crappy projections on the floor, and the kids are like trying to stomp on the fish and stuff. Is it going to be that? Or is it going to be like an actual set? Are you going to feel like you're part of the show? Because if it's the crappy projector overhead, I've seen that. I don't want to do that,
It's gonna be a
you
cash
know?
grab.
That I mean that
they gotta make money
that's what
on
I'm
this.
afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. But like even at KOP and whatever this location in Dallas is, like you imagine the projector thing at like Plymouth Meeting or like Montgomeryville Mall, but like KOP, it should be a bit better, right? Or am I just being like hopeful?
I think you're being too hopeful.
So it's gonna be crap.
They got to make money off of it, so they can't pour a whole lot of money into it. I mean, they'll pour some, but I don't think they'll pour anything like crazy high tech, super No, I don't think they're gonna do anything like that. But
yeah,
I think it's more what you said at the back end of your original sentence that gift shop. Buy Netflix T-shirts. Buy Stranger Things. Stranger Things. Remember Stranger Things? It's going away. Please buy everything.
They desperately want to keep that a thing because it was like mentioned in their blog post about the thing. And I don't know about you, but Stranger Things kind of fell off a cliff for me. Like I'll still watch the final season, but it's been so long and those kids are so old. It's not cute anymore. It's like weird. So I don't know. They really want to make Stranger Things a big thing, but I feel like
Cobra Kai, another one.
Cobra Kai. Oh, they could do like a little like karate class thing in there. Come on, Rich.
They're stretching that Cobra Kai last season out to 3 parts. Like,
wait, what? 3 parts?
Yeah.
Over how long a span? Is this 1 calendar year or is this like 2 calendar years?
I think it's like over 7 months or something.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No, but
the kids are getting old, just like Stranger Things. Like, it's gonna be
like
awkward.
it's the same
They're
premise.
gonna be like 27, and they're gonna like just graduate high school at the young age of 27. You know?
Yeah. So I don't. I think this whole thing is just to sell unwanted merch. Please buy our stuff. Please. We printed all the Stranger Things stuff out in 2020. We thought more people were gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's been a good minute since their last season, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that was like 21 or 22 or what?
For Cobra Kai or Stranger Things?
For either. It's been a while, right?
Cobra Kai.
Stranger Things is longer.
Stranger Things is longer. Cobra Kai, I think the last season was 2 years ago. Because I know I watched it in my house. So it's not longer than that.
Stranger Things was 22. So we're looking at already 2 years, and season 5. I don't know, when's season 5 coming out? Not for a good bit still, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's gonna be awkward. Do you think they're gonna time jump it?
They may have to. I don't know. I don't know. Stranger Things is a weird conundrum because every season got bigger and bigger,
but not better.
And true. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. So after this last season where like the town exploded, I don't know what else do you do? How else? What else is going to happen? Is the Earth going to explode?
It's the classic anime like escalation of forces issue where it's always like, here's a new big bad. Oh, he's bigger and badder than the last guy. But at a certain point, you get to a tipping point or a breaking point where it's like unbelievable. You know, like you can stretch your imagination only so far. I think Stranger Things really peaked with season 2 probably, like a lot of Netflix shows. That's a different conversation. But yeah, they do get bigger and bigger. And I think the quality lacks because of it. We see that I remember we talked about this with Die Hard. Like, Die Hard kept getting bigger and bigger. I know it's a random connection, but it's just the first thing that popped in my head where each one, it was like, oh, it was a single building. Then it was a whole airport. Then it was a whole city. Then it was a whole country. Then it was the whole world. Then he's globetrotting. And they got worse and worse the bigger it got. It's because you can't control the narrative the further you let it spread. You got to retain some kind of control to, keep the tension high, to keep the drama going. But Stranger Things, clearly I'm on the outs with it, so it probably won't be doing whatever Stranger Things are there at the Netflix house. But I will say, depending on cost, I will absolutely check it out. Like, if it's reasonable, I'll go. I'll do their waltzing and their glass bridge and whatever. I'll have a Netflix burger, or I don't know what they're gonna have there. I'll go to the gift shop. I'll buy a bunch of stuff at the gift shop too because I'm that kind of idiot. But I really hope that it's and try to be quality. I really hope it's not a blatant cash grab. Obviously, it's a cash grab, but hopefully it's only like 60% cash grab.
All right,
as opposed to like 90%.
Well, when it does open in King of Prussia, we'll let everybody know and give our review on
absolutely
on that. But we also got some video game news here. Sony has announced its first true multi-platform game. Mikey, what is
Yes.
it?
And you can tell by the background, it is a Horizon game, but not just a regular Horizon game. It is Lego Horizon Adventure. And this is interesting because they announced it for the PlayStation 5, PC, and also the Switch. And if you've been paying attention, this is the first time that Sony is releasing a multi-platform game that's not just a PC port or MLB The Show. I don't count MLB The Show, and neither does Sony, because Major League Baseball basically said, you must put this on all the platforms if you want to retain the license. So they were forced to do it. But this is Sony taking a triple A title and franchise that they developed internally on their own with their own money, and they're willingly putting it on a competing platform like the Switch. Um, we talked about Xbox going multi-platform and how it's just, an inevitability. I don't think I ever expected Sony to go this route, but I think they're doing it in a really smart way by ignoring Xbox because that's their direct competitor. There's no Xbox release announced as of yet. And they're doing it in a more kid-friendly, family-oriented way because Horizon is secretly going to be one of their biggest franchises. They have multiple games already released. They have multiple games in the works. They have VR spin-offs, board games. They have physical merchandise. They have Lego sets, TV shows, a multi-massively online game in the works. So, this is bringing in a younger, newer crowd to basically pitch them on the PlayStation ecosystem. This isn't a mainline Horizon game. This is a side adventure with a co-development deal with Lego to get families and kids involved so that either the dads go, hey, I got to remember to play that robot dinosaur game on the PlayStation 5, or the kids, when they get to 13, 14, they're like, hey, I want to play the robot dinosaur game on the PlayStation 6 or 7, whatever. So I kind of like this idea. It feels like a smart move to go multi-platform in meaningful ways and not just put out, exclusives on whatever platform is willing to buy them. Um, what do you think? This is kind of like big news that was kind of missed last week by me when I was doing the rundown because it
Yeah.
flew so far under the radar.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a big IP. I mean, this is definitely one of those anchor IPs that Sony wants to put out there, and why not? Why not choose this as your first foray into a multi-platform multiplayer game? It doesn't surprise me that this is the one that was chosen to do so. Um, I'm kind of curious though to see where this goes into the future, because there have been reports that Sony's already eyeing the PlayStation 6 coming out probably for a target date of 2027, 2028, which is crazy to me. I can't believe it's already time to like start thinking about that.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. So I mean, Sony is not resting on its laurels. They're coming out guns blazing in the future, and this is one part of its next step into that future. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and I think back to the Microsoft thing with their multi-platform move, and I can kind of hear people like, why do you think this is so different? I think it's different because Microsoft said, any game is a potential multi-platform game. Whereas we don't see that kind of messaging from Sony. Like, to get the best Horizon experience, you still must get Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 5. Like, they're not just putting out all of their games on competing platforms. Whereas on the Xbox side, we're hearing rumors that Gears of War, Forza, Halo, all potentially coming to PlayStation in the coming months and years. This is a very targeted approach with, I think, a very clear objective in mind of broadening the audience and bringing in other players into the ecosystem, not just selling stuff to make a quick cash grab. Going back to Netflix, is this a cash grab or is it done in a meaningful way? I think it's being done in a meaningful way. Maybe I'm just being biased because I'm a Sony fanboy kind of thing, but I like to believe that it's very intentional. The fact that they're doing a Lego version and specifically on the Switch, not just on their direct competitor. This seems like there's some kind of thought involved.
Between the two, I would say this is less of a cash grab than the Netflix thing.
Yeah. Oh,
That,
absolutely.
that's what I would believe. But make no mistake, it's still about making money. So don't worry.
It's always about making money.
They're going to target that Switch release to kids and stuff like that. They want them to get on board, especially if they never played a Horizon game before. Perfect audience. Get them ready.
Yep. And they've probably seen the physical Lego sets. Like, I know a lot of my younger cousins are all about Legos, and they probably have seen the sets, and then all of a sudden it's a video game they can play together because it's a multiplayer game, online, couch co-op. Oh yeah, I feel like this is going to be a very smart move for Sony, both financially and also in terms of growing their audience. So, look, I'll play it, but here's the question: where do I play it? Because I have a Switch and a PlayStation.
Where do you play it, Mike?
So now I'm in a pickle. Like, do I get it on the PlayStation, or do I try the Sony game on the Switch just for the novelty? I'll have to see. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm actually really excited for it. It looks pretty good. But yeah, there you go. Sony's first dip into, I think, true multi-platform publishing. I think it's really cool.
I think you have to do it on the Switch just to be like,
I have to.
why is there a Sony property on my Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. Well, I have
Worlds
Xbox
are colliding.
games. I have Xbox games on my PlayStation. I'm gonna have PlayStation games on my Switch. I got emulators on my Apple device for Nintendo, for the NES and the Game Boy Advance. I mean, it's all crazy.
The worlds are all colliding. We can't handle this.
It's so weird and wacky. It's also the perfect transition to our final segment of the show. Of course, we always like to wrap up with a little bit of odd news in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
That's
Rich,
right.
what do you have for us?
All right. Yeah, we always got to have some odd news. And, the last couple of weeks, we actually weren't in Florida. So let's go back to Florida.
Oh, we're going back to Florida. They never disappoint.
So,
do I have to do the sound clip by myself?
I need you to do the sound clip for us, Mike.
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
There you go.
Who is this effing guy in Florida?
Yeah, there you go.
I did my best.
Mikey doing Al Pacino in his own song. Okay, so I know you like these kinds of stories, Mikey, so I had to pull this one for you. But an ex-con landed behind bars again after he struck his girlfriend in the face because they argued over who ate the last honey bun, according to police. How dare you?
Just ate just a single honey bun?
How
really?
dare you eat my last bun? How dare you?
Not my last bun.
That had my name on it. How dare you?
So they came to physical blows over a honey bun.
Yep.
I don't think that I would fight somebody for a honey bun. Like, maybe other types of food, but not. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
Investigators said that 47-year-old Andre Eason and the 39-year-old victim were in their car on Friday morning at 4 a.m. So that's an interesting time to get into this fight over a honey bun.
Yeah, really.
They were arguing over who ate the last honey bun. During the dispute, Eason allegedly smacked the victim in the face. Slap, bitch slap. Boom.
Oh my gosh.
How dare you?
While they were driving?
No, they had pulled over. I think they were...
Oh, the argument was so bad they had to pull over for it.
Okay, so they were at a hotel at the time. So they pulled into the hotel parking lot. Okay. They were walking to their hotel room.
Got it. And that's when the bitch slapping occurred.
Yes. Eason was arrested for domestic battery and booked into the county jail.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
He's
also ordered to have no contact with the victim for 6 months. But things got a little more interesting as on his records, he listed himself as just, quote, self-employed.
That's always a red flag.
Yep. When they inquired about this with the victim, that's when the victim gave him up that he sold fentanyl and meth on the side.
Whoops.
Yeah, so this is an expensive honey bun all of a sudden, huh?
Oh man. You should have just let it slide because now you're gonna be locked up for a bit now.
Yeah. So he is going to be facing some drug charges. And he also has previous convictions for aggravated assault and theft.
Oh man.
So he is not going to, he's definitely going to get some serious jail time for being a multiple offender on this.
You know where you don't get honey buns very frequently is in prison. So you done goofed.
Yeah. You don't usually somebody calls you honey bun in jail. You don't get
He's
honey
gonna
buns.
he's gonna be the honey bun.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So there's going to be a whole different meaning to the term honey bun.
Yikes.
And then I thought this was funny. They mentioned it on the police report. He has a tattoo of a bear claw, but not the dessert. I don't know. I thought that was funny.
He should have had a tattoo of a honey bun since he loves them so much. He's willing to beat up his girlfriend over it.
Willing to cause crime over that last honey bun. How dare you?
I feel like that's such a waste. Why go through all that trouble for a honey bun? You committed domestic assault. You got arrested. You're gonna go to jail for who knows how long for a honey bun? Really?
Yeah.
What do they cost? Like $2? You can buy so many with all your drug money. Come
Yeah.
on.
Come on.
Let it
Yeah, right.
slide.
You got all that drug money. Go back into that.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're gonna end up being a honey bun in
Yeah.
prison. That's not good.
I'm sure we've talked about this, Mike, but what's a food that you would actually commit a crime over?
We have talked about this. A food that I would commit a crime over. Oh man. See, that's really tough. It would have to be like a really nice, like high quality, hard to get slice of pizza. I love pizza. It's probably my favorite food. That
Didn't
or
we have
like
a story where somebody fought somebody over pizza?
I think they did. And I've fought my brother over pizza once. So when we were younger, we would, when we got the pizza, we'd be like, "Oh, I want that slice," and argue over who got what slice because we always wanted the biggest slice or the most pepperoni, whatever. And one time, JB, in order to claim his slice, he licked it. I was like, "Come on, man,
Ooh.
that's yeah." I'm like, "That's not a good move." So I grabbed a slice of pizza and I threw it straight at his face. So I've been there. I've walked the walk. I've been in those shoes, but it didn't ever escalate to the point of me getting arrested for it. It was
Not
kind of
yet.
like not yet.
Not yet.
There's always a chance. It was a gentle toss. It wasn't like a mean like slap.
Oh,
or
what? You didn't wind
anything.
up? You didn't
No,
fastball
no.
it?
No, kind of just like a flung it at his face kind of thing.
No, not
You
a
know?
fastball down the middle of pizza.
No, no, unfortunately not. So that's my food fight story. What about you, Rich? What food would compel you to get violent or physical, or you're so enraged you just gotta do something?
I guess it would have to be something homemade by my mom.
Oh, that's a
'Cause
good one. That's a good one.
I don't know. To me, that's just like gold. Anything that she sends
Yeah.
me home with is just like, my mom's
That's true.
best cook ever. So it's just like anything that she sends me home with is it's like worth its weight in gold. So
That's
I don't
true.
know. I don't know what specifically off the top of my head, but I'm sure that anything that she would send me, I'd be pretty upset if I didn't know, if it was just randomly gone and I didn't know who ate it.
You know what? No, that is fair. I was not considering. I was thinking of types of food, but not like, yeah, not like, I don't know, classifications of food, but you're right. Like if there's like a homemade lasagna or
Yeah.
something like that, I would be, oh man, don't mess with like my mom or my aunt's homemade lasagna. Like if I had a piece of that set aside and all of a sudden it was gone the next day, ooh,
Yeah. What happened to it?
oh yeah,
It's a
oh there's
full-blown police investigation. Who ate it?
heads are gonna roll.
Yes.
Heads are gonna roll.
Where were you at 11 p.m. near the refrigerator?
Yeah, right, exactly.
We have a
So
witness
I
that corroborates that you were at the scene of the refrigerator at 11 p.m. What are you doing
yeah,
there?
I need two eyewitness accounts and an alibi.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you on the homemade stuff. I hadn't considered that. That's good.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest deal because I don't know. It's just anything my mom. That's another thing too. Anything my mom makes is like at least an A. Like
Yeah.
I try and cook, and I just feel like I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if I'm getting the right seasonings. I don't know if I'm getting the right texture. My mom just like she's like I tried to make a General Tso's chicken. How did it come out? And it comes out like really good. Like this isn't even in
I
your
don't. It's
wheelhouse.
it's just that mom cooking magic. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's one of those crazy things.
Yeah.
You just can't explain it. And you're absolutely right. I will fret over something and it only tastes like 60% as good. And they throw something together quick and it's like, okay, that
Yeah,
was
your
that was,
mom is
that was
another.
black magic.
Your mom's another one too. She just makes
Yeah.
everything look so just like, oh yeah, I just whipped up a lasagna, and it's like, what?
Yeah, it's like I could never. The one time I tried to make lasagna, it came out like soup because I messed up the layers. Like I'm that much of an idiot?
Yeah.
So
So yeah, it's
yeah, there's
it's
those old Italian moms. You know what it is? It's just decades of just
it, it,
just doing it,
yeah,
getting it done.
it's just in their spirit. I don't know. They just boom, 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 boom. It's done, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm like sweating over here, and I can't handle it.
You're like that meme of the crazy music, da, 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 trying to like cook, and they're just da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da.
Yeah. Oh, another thing too is like also cooking in like we're in the middle of a heat wave this week here in Philadelphia. Like I can't cook. I'm like there is no
No.
way I'm gonna be near a grill or a stove this weekend.
We
It's
turned on the oven tonight. I almost died. I was like, we had the windows open, but it was hot. It was the air from the outside was even hotter. The air conditioner was running full blast, but it like couldn't keep it cool enough. We're gonna die in here. It was
yeah.
so hot.
So yeah, like I'm like I am not cooking this week. My mom is still cooking. I'm like it's 95 degrees. You're gonna get a heat stroke at this rate.
I don't get it, man. I don't get
Yeah.
it. I don't think does your mom's house have air conditioning in
She's
the
got
kitchen
window
area?
units.
She got window units. Okay.
Yeah.
Crank that to full blast,
Yeah.
especially if
So
you're cooking. Oh man.
yeah. So yeah, Italian mothers, what can't they do? We both
Order
have
out.
one. Yeah.
It's like, why don't you guys get delivery? Delivery? What? And I'm like, yeah, like it's not.
True.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing.
All right. Well, you know what? Our odd news has spilled into personal territory, so you know what? I think we're coming up on the end of the hour anyway, so I think it's a good time to wrap this episode up. There you guys go. This is the Crispy Compact Communiqué, a virtual shortened version of our usual podcast that we can do whenever our schedules are a little hectic, if you will, and that's what happened this week. Thank you guys for supporting us, supporting our little show. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get the podcast sent to you every week. Two main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page. And the second main way is on Spotify. Make sure that you are subscribed to get the podcast on either one of those platforms so that you get the episodes sent to you every week, whether it is our main show or the Crispy Compact Communique that we do every now and then.
Yep, absolutely. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast and the Crispy Compact Communique. If you need to get in touch with us individually to share sports, entertainment, or odd news stories that we can address here on the podcast, you can find us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on X, on Instagram, whatever you can do. Let us know what is happening. If we use your topic, we'll give you a sausage shout out with the actual soundboard that we usually have on the main podcast. So let us know if there's something you want us to talk about on a future episode. But for right now, I think that'll do it for this week. We were able to get together and give you a virtual show with the Crispy Compact Communique. The wonders of the internet. Thank you, internet. But I think we're going to wrap this one up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. Anything else, Mike?
No, thank you guys for tuning in.
All right, and let me take one more sip. And there you go. Make sure you go to gameshowmarathon.com and help us get our total donation over $11,000. Give us one last donation if you can. But for right now, that'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.